Good morning to one and all. Dear students, we have been discussing on the drama Who is Afraid of Virginia Woolf, and till now we have completed our discussions on the plot, on the characters that we see in this drama. Now let us look at the different themes that are present in this drama. In the beginning itself I have said this is one of the most complex dramas because it includes lot of themes intertwined with each other. There are lots of symbolisms and other narrative elements, dramatic elements added together to fill up a flavor of all these themes. So there are many themes we find in this drama. Among the many themes, these 6 themes are major. First theme is reality versus illusion, which we find prominently in all the 3 acts. Second is history versus biology. We find this tug of war between history and biology in act number 1 predominantly. And games and wars, again this is predominantly seen throughout the play. And violence, this one has completely filled the drama, this violence. And then failure of the American dream is also a theme. And I said in the beginning that many plays of Edward Albee make a criticism of the concept of American dream. He shows how in 1950s society the American dream failed to become a reality. So that is also a key theme in this drama. And then the theme of love and hate, and of course the theme of marriage or failure of marriage. So these are the themes that we find in the play. Now let us look at how and where we find these themes in the play or in the plot of the play. So the first thing I would like to speak about, of course I have made this list, but I would like to speak about this theme first. Violence. Violence can be found in many forms in this drama. When I look at this theme or this word, another playwright comes to my mind, that is Vijay Tendulkar. Even plays of Vijay Tendulkar speak a lot of things about violence and its traumatic impacts on the people. In the play Vultures, written by Vijay Tendulkar, we see this to an extreme level. And there are many plays written by Vijay Tendulkar which focus on this particular theme. Now, let us keep Vijay Tendulkar apart. Considering the theme of violence in this particular drama is very important because we find violence at every single phase of this drama. Now, we can categorize this violence, how it is seen in this drama. First, it is seen as domestic violence. We are aware of this term, domestic violence, violence that is made inside the house, and the outer world does not know much about this. But internally, within a house, all the peace is disturbed. The constant struggle, fight, quarrels between husband and wife can be turned into the word domestic violence. And how is it happening in this novel? You already know the story I have told, how George and Martha keep on insulting, hurting each other. And of course, in this violence there is no physical violence, but it is more of psychological violence. Violence in this drama is psychological, and always psychological violence is more powerful, more harmful as well than direct physical violence. So how they are indulging in this psychological or mental violence? Both George and Martha know the weak point of each other. Martha knows what will hurt George. George knows what will hurt Martha, and they purposely do the same things which hurt the other person. They try to attack emotionally on each other. They don't have a direct physical fight. Of course, in one scene there seems to be a physical struggle between George, Martha and Nick. But throughout the play we find that George, Martha and Nick, these three people mainly, not Honey. Honey, as I said, among all the four characters, Honey is a little milder character. But these three characters, George, Martha and Nick, they want to hurt the other person repeatedly, and they attack on their emotions. Martha knows what will make George sad, and she purposely does the same thing which hurts him. For example, it may be the revealing of their imaginary son's story. That is one. Martha is doing that. And Martha keeps on calling George as flop. She knows how it is harmful for a man's ego to be disrespected in the public, and she does it on purpose, mainly to do violence against her own husband. So be it the fact that once he tried to write a novel which he could not publish because the story was not proper one, Martha says about this thing, and in this emotional attack throughout the play, revealing or revelation of secret becomes a key factor in hurting each other. See, there is always a private world created by husband and wife in their marriage, and they don't want any matter of this private world to be known to others. They have certain rules among themselves, understanding among themselves, that they will not share about this thing with anyone. If they do so, marriage will be in danger, and repeatedly we see George and Martha are doing the things which are harming their marriage, which are disturbing, troubling and taking their marriage to an extent of almost a breakup. So Martha calls George flop in front of Nick and Honey. Martha orders George to give her drink all the time. One or two times it is fine. As a husband, he can also offer her, make a drink for her and offer it to her. But Martha is repeatedly asking George to make a drink for her, and she is using a lot of abusive words in front of people. So this is also hurting George emotionally. The later, how George is unsuccessful in his career, that also is revealed by Martha. So all these are nothing but violent attacks on the mentality or the psychology of this character called George. The other attack, the other violence is also when Martha has a sexual encounter, a brief encounter with Nick in front of her own husband. This also disturbs him mentally. So there is a lot of violence seen in this drama. Even George is doing the same thing. It is a kind of action and reaction. Martha tries to provoke George, and George in turn provokes Martha. He claims that Martha is alcoholic in front of people. that Martha is a dominant woman. He claims that Martha is all the time in the shadow of her father. That Martha, and ultimately he uses the trick to destroy Martha emotionally, saying or creating the fake news of their son's death. So thereby breaking the illusion also disturbs Martha emotionally. This is how violence is seen throughout the play. There are plenty of dialogues which show the theme of violence. Again, we are going to repeat this violence in this particular theme when we discuss that. I would like to read one or two lines or dialogues and see how violence is seen in this drama. So throughout the dialogue, throughout the drama you have such dialogues. Martha says, I will read one dialogue which is there on 38. Martha is trying to humiliate George. George's biggest problem about the little about our son, about our great big son, is that deep down in the private most pit of his gut, he is not completely sure it's his own kid. Then keeps on irritating her husband. Later there are even dialogues wherein she uses horrible words, swear words to George. She calls, and even George calls her monster, lady monster, and many other dialogues. So this is how we see. You must read the drama so that you will understand how this theme of violence is reflected again and again. Further, so that is the theme of violence in this drama, which is seen in all the three acts. Then I would like to talk about this theme next to the theme of violence, games and wars. The title of act number 1 is Fun and Games. So in the beginning, when we start reading the text, we feel that it must be something entertaining, it must be something good, it must be something comic, because the title is Fun and Games. But in fact, these are ironical terms used by Edward Albee to indicate that these fun and games are not very innocent ones. In fact, these games the word which he uses in the first act are nothing but hidden or latent wars against each other. These wars are psychological. Now look at the names of some games which are mentioned here, and it is also parodied here. The concept of game and fun is parodied in this drama. It is more ironical because there is always a tradition in the Western culture when the guests come, especially in the evening time. But this is not in the evening time that the guests are coming. But when the guests come in the evening time, they usually arrange for a drinks party, and during that drinks party, they entertain themselves with some music, some dance, some talk, some chatting with each other, some games like games of cards, and some little smaller games of entertainment, and some role play, some dance session. There are so many activities of fun which are meant to be done during a party. And what is happening here in this drama, when the guests have come, indeed there are games, but the fun is a horrible kind of fun. And the games, what kind of games are they playing? Of course, they are drinking a lot of alcohol, a variety of various drinks, and then that might be considered as fun for them, but the games they are playing are extremely horrible. They start with some conversation and they end up in something horrible. Like the first is in the first act, Martha and Nick start attacking George, and in the next act, act number 2, Walpurgisnacht, George says, we will now play the games. Now, how he names the games? Hump the hostess. Look at the words used here. Get the guests. And then bring up the baby. These games, the so-called games named by George, are not just games, but they are psychological wars. They are intended to insult, humiliate some person. They are targeted towards some person so that the other person gets humiliated. And it's a way of taking revenge against those who have tried to humiliate him. George was already humiliated in act number 1 and 2. Now he wants to take revenge against whom? Revenge against Martha. So to take revenge against Martha, he says, now let us play the game Hump the Hostess. And when he mentions about these games, he also tends to use some of the very vulgar vocabulary. And then he finds out that even Nick is involved in humiliating him along with Martha. He says, we will also play the game Get the Guests. Now in this game, the so-called game, he wants to target Nick and then bring up the baby, in which he wants to humiliate not just Nick but also Honey, who has come as a guest there. So he knows that playing these kind of games, these are not actual games but verbal attacks on each another. Playing these games will help George in taking revenge against those who have tried to humiliate him all through that particular night. So the concept of games has been totally considered ironical by Edward Albee in this particular play. The games, the party, the fun which was meant to be had during that party turns out into an open battlefield where vulgar battles are taking place between two couples, husband and wife. So this is a theme considered ironically in the play Who is Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Further, I would like to focus on the concept of failure of American dream. We already are well acquainted with the concept of American dream. And in this particular drama, Edward Albee has tried to show how this dream of American life utterly failed during the 1950s. Americans, since Gilded Age, since they overcame the problem of civil wars, they were chasing this dream, the American dream of living a life happily with their own resources, with their own capacities, without any restrictions, with lot of freedom. That is what they were chasing. And what Edward Albee tries to prove here in this play is that even in the times of 1950s, Americans, especially people living in the New England area, the northeastern part of America, which is considered as one of the most developed parts of the world, also has failed to achieve what it was chasing. How does he show that American dream has failed? He shows this through the example of George and Martha mainly, and also through Nick and Honey. We all know that America is the land of freedom. All Americans feel that it is their birthright to have freedom and to live life according to their wishes. But what is happening in case of George and Martha? They live in one of the most educated societies of America, because George is a university professor. He is a professor of history in a university college, and they happen to live in a university campus area. So we might think that they are one of the most sophisticated family in that part of America. They look lavish. From the outside, their life looks luxurious, having a good position in society. But internally, are they free? Are they happy? For example, George does not feel that he is enjoying his freedom, because he is all the time in the fear of Martha's father, who is the president of that college. It almost seems that his life is restricted by Martha's father. Whether they are happy, their childlessness, their violence against each other has failed them to achieve a life of their dream. They are not happy, they are not free, they are bound to each other. When they know that their marriage is unhappy one, have they taken divorce and tried to get free? Even that is not the case when it comes to George and Martha. They are trying to bind each other with some or the other illusion, thinking that without this illusion, their real life can be unhappy one. But even in that illusion, they are not enjoying it. They are not happy in their life. American dream also focused on the concepts such as fullness in life, happiness, luxury, then prosperity, freedom, social equality, gender equality, and many more things, which we consider as the elements of a utopian state. But the characters like George and Martha, even Nick and Honey, are unable to achieve these ideals of the American dream. On the other side, we have the characters of Nick and Honey. Among the two characters, it seems that Honey, who is over alcoholic, has misunderstood the concept of freedom. Nick is a hypocrite. He has married Honey for the sake of property, and there is no base of love, mutual respect for each other in this marriage either. So these ideals with which Nick and Honey are living, with which George and Martha are leading their life, are totally against the ideals of American dream. It seems that in their personal life, inside their homes, this dream has collapsed utterly. It has led to unhappiness in their marriage. They are living in an illusory world. Even that illusory world is giving them sorrow. So where is American dream? What has America achieved? What has George, being a university professor, achieved in his life when he is not able to be happy in his own life? So this is how Edward Albee has tried to criticize the phony exterior. Phony exterior means on the outer surface it looks very glorious, but the gloomy interior of the concept of American dream, which was filled with materialism, unfortunately, in the 20th century. Actually, materialism was not the most important concept in American dream, but the 20th century, that is what we see even in the novel The Great Gatsby, how they consider American dream means the prosperity in material life, but that is not so. George also has enough amount of wealth with him, but he is unhappy. Martha is unhappy. Nick is unhappy. He is a hypocrite. Even Honey is not happy in his life. There is a lacuna. There is always a bitterness in their lives. So this is how the American society failed to achieve this American dream, and that is what Edward Albee has tried to show through the characters of George and Martha. So this is also a prominent theme that we find in this play. Next, there is the theme of history and biology. This is not a very dominant theme. We find it happening in Act number 1 mostly. So these two subjects, actually there should not be any rivalry between the subjects, but the people in this drama who represent these subjects seem to be rivals of each other. History is represented by George, biology is represented by Nick, and history, the man of history, George, keeps on commenting that biology is a very cruel subject, that biology and genetic engineering, these are of course new inventions, these are advanced subjects, these involve heavy technology of the modern generation, but this biology fails to produce uniqueness in the human beings. Genetic engineering has failed to bring individual qualities in the human beings, and through genetics, through cloning, many immoral acts are taking place in the society. This is what the history professor claims about Nick and his subject. So, biology, the subject in this in this play, has taken to be a symbol of modern generation, the symbol of immorality, and also the symbol of corruption. Not by me, don't mistake me, but this is how Edward Albee has tried to show through the character of George. George feels that history is a very good subject, and they both keep arguing. It is not Nick, but it is George who keeps arguing about biology, and he seems to symbolize biology with something that is evil, that is something against the society, and so on. So the constant struggle between history and biology is shown through the interactions between the characters George and his guest Nick. So there are two more themes which we will discuss in the next lecture. Thank you.